odds. We continue with the men's 200 breast. In international influence here, you see Eric Shanto of the United States with the American record, but 6 different countries represented in this one.
And this is important not only for these countries to come here and compete against the Americans, but it's good for the Americans as well. You want to have that great international flavor, especially this early in the season, to help them prepare for Barcelona.
Here's Clark Burkle in lane 8. He was 6th in this event at London.
Great family of swimming. Sister Carolyn made the Olympic team in 2008. A little bit of a surprise to make that team in 2012, Clark Burkle. And there's Mike Alexandrov, probably a little better in the 100, but as in 200 has improved dramatically. Was on that Olympic team for Bulgaria, as you saw back in 04 and 08, and decided to become an American citizen. Well, he had dual citizenship, but decided to go for the Olympic Games as an American. Just missed it. He was 6th in the 100 breaststroke last summer at the trial.
Here's the start list. Imre Ganyel, the Israeli, BJ Johnson in lane 2. Miguelina Facundo from Argentina. Then it's Claveray from Venezuela in lane 4. Almeida from Portugal in lane 5. Alexandrov, Duckett from South Africa, lane 7. And then Burkle in lane 8. 6 countries, 8 lanes.
See Burkle outside lane 8, barely qualified. He was the 8th qualifier just to sneak in here. And he actually beat out his teammate, Scott Welts, who qualified 9th, just swam the B final. He went 2:16.45, and although that won't count as a win, it could be the top time when this is all said and done. Probably won't be, but it could be. Keep an eye on lane 8, and in the middle of the pool though, Carlos Claveray from Venezuela, the top qualifier by almost 3 seconds. And this is where breaststroke is going, Trey. When you look at the top times, for example, in the world last year, you had 1, 2, I'm counting the top 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different countries that represented the top 10 swims last year. So this event alone has tremendous international flavor, as you said at the top.
And you see lanes 8 and 6, as advertised, out in front. Burkle and Alexandrov. BJ Johnson in lane 2 swimming well.
Well, you kind of felt like Alexandrov was going to pop off a good first 100. He's right there in lane number 6. If you count 1 at the top, 8 at the bottom of your screen, you can see Clark Burkle right in front of you at the very bottom in lane number 8. Also out there with Alexandrov, very, very solid at this point. And then you have to look all the way across the board, as you said, up there in lane number 2 with BJ Johnson. So it's really spread out at this point.
Burkle going to Stanford for the NBA program next fall. Right now, he's in a battle with Alexandrov in front, lane 8, Clark Burkle.
Boy, Clark's looking really good right now. You want to try to minimize the resistance that breaststroke forces. Extend that core line. You can see how he extends out, reaches out. He has minimal drag. He has that great uncanny ability to recognize where his hands need to be, especially when it compares to those ankles and that great ankle flexion that he has.
And don't forget about BJ Johnson up there, Rowdy, in lane 2.
All 3 right there touching together. Now you would think Alexandrov would fall off, but he's had some real solid 200s so far this season, so I don't think he's going to do that as much as people think he might.
Clark Burkle in lane 8.
Boy, it's really hard to see. I mean, you're looking on the screen, it's really tough to tell because
and Johnson, it looks like.
Way up there, it looks like BJ Johnson just might have this.
The Seattle native, BJ Johnson. We've been focusing on 8 and 6, but Johnson at the top. Do they see him up there? He's in a battle with Alexandrov. And it's at the end, BJ Johnson winning the men's 200 breast.
Wow, what a great swim for BJ Johnson. Hey, listen, he's solid. I mean, this is a guy that was 6th in the 200 breaststroke at the Olympic trials last summer. So an Olympic trials qualifier, finalist. You know, he's got that great closing speed. So tough to tell though here. You know, in breaststroke, it's so hard to see where you're at. And BJ, especially right up there, knowing that Clark Burkle and Alexandrov are toward the bottom of your screen, you really have to use your peripheral vision if you want to see where the other swimmers are in the race. Sometimes it's good to, as I've said, to put those blinders on But as they go right by you, Clark Burkle has the advantage here, but B.J. Johnson just kind of bided in time right here, right there at the top of your screen, looking very solid going into that 150, and that's where he started having the edge. Had great acceleration into that wall and out of it, where Clark was sort of decelerating coming off the wall. B.J. Johnson was finishing it up very quickly, and Alexandrov had a great finish as well, almost caught him at the end. Great swim for B.J. Johnson.
B.J. Johnson joining us now, winner of the men's 200 breast. B.J., we were focusing on lane 6 and 8, and you just had a great finish there to win this thing. How did it feel down the stretch?
Yeah, well, I couldn't obviously see the far side of the pool very well. Went out pretty smooth, had some energy left, tried to just close the race well. Figured there was someone to race, even if I couldn't see him, and got home okay.
Was there any point in the race at all that you could see Clark or Michael swimming in that race?
I had a great race with them back in Austin a couple months ago.
Right.
So, I mean, I couldn't see them, but I knew they were there.
What kind of confidence now does this give you as we head into the summer, BJ?
I mean, it's always good to win. That was a little bit slower than Austin, which is a little disappointing. You want to kind of build through the season, but I'm ahead of where I was last year. Been pretty consistent. Training's been hard, so it's really the combination of all those things going forward that gives you the confidence.
Well, that consistency paid off here. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
B.J. Johnson, the winner of the men's 200 breasts. Coming up, the women's 400 free from Mesa.